Good evening. My name is Scott Bishop. I'm here to talk to Mayor Kinsey, Charlotte City Council, and the residents of the city of Charlotte about a situation that's going on in our Russian sister city, Voronezh. First, a little background. In June of this year, the Russian parliament passed laws that make it illegal and punishable by fine to display any kind of gay propaganda in Russia where children might be present. Earlier this year, in January, 14 protesters against this law, some of them gay, some of them not, were demonstrating in our sister city of Voronezh. They were descended upon by a crowd of 1,500 people organized by leading residents in the city. The confrontation turned violent, and several of the protesters were very seriously injured. This occurrence was originally reported by the BBC, and our own local LGBT newspaper, Q Notes, has followed up and corroborated these events. As Q Notes reports, bottles and other items were hurled through the air at the demonstrators among shouts of "kill the fags" and "beat the faggots," all while police took little to no action. On August 2nd of this year, as chair of the Mecklenburg Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender Political Action Committee, otherwise known as MECPAC, I sent a letter to Mayor Kinsey and members of the Charlotte City Council indicating that we had initiated an online petition through MoveOn.org requesting that the city of Charlotte sever ties with our Russian sister city because of this anti-gay violence. To date, 293 citizens have signed our petition. I have a copy of that here to present to you this evening. Across the United States, from Massachusetts to California, even out in Hawaii, many other cities and town councils are being approached with the same demand, including in Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Louisville, and Cleveland, to name a few. All told, as of today, 29 cities across the U.S., including Durham, Chapel Hill, and Carrboro here in North Carolina, are all hearing demands that ties be severed with Russian sister cities. In fact, Lansing, Michigan has already voted on this and is severing ties with St. Petersburg. The growing concern and outrage has also reached the International Olympic Committee with demands of moving next year's Winter Olympics away from Sochi, Russia, where gay and lesbian athletes and spectators could be put into harmful and potentially violent situations. Mayor Kinsey, you have already responded to our letter indicating that ties between sister cities are not easily formed nor easily broken. We understand that. Our purpose behind our petition was to raise awareness of the extreme human rights violations that are occurring against our LGBT brothers and sisters in Russia and in our sister city. Since signing up to speak here tonight, we have received an invitation from your office to join you, Councilwoman Mayfield, Councilman Madelon, members of the Human Rights Watch and the U.S. State Department and Sister Cities International. We thank you for that invitation. We look forward to a productive conversation about how we can help the situation in Voronezh. This past weekend, Charlotte held one of the largest pride celebrations in our history. We know how to show our LGBT citizens that they're welcome here. Let's see how we can share that message of inclusion with the citizens and officials in Voronezh. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bishop.
I'm James Kemper. I'm actually currently the chair for the Russia-Charlotte-Voronezh Sister City program. I have actually heard what Scott has said, and certainly are sympathetic and even empathetic to that particular situation. I think what a lot of people also really should bear in mind and take into consideration that you really cannot affect any type of change without dialogue. And whilst it may seem prudent to sever ties based on the activities that are happening right now in Charlotte, there is no way that we can actually affect any type of real change on the local level by severing ties. Without communication, you really can't move forward on any way. It just builds more enmity. And it also, since this issue has been raised, we have also reached out to Voronezh. We have received an official response from the mayor of Voronezh. They are interested in speaking with us about this issue and taking this up in a serious manner. We also are in contact and have been in contact with a local gay rights organization that's dealing with these issues on the ground level, all of which we are more than prepared and happy to work with Scott and his organization on furthering these particular developments. It just seems that currently in our political climate, confrontation is usurping collaboration, and is one of these things that we are certainly more than willing and able to work with organizations that have expressed concerns like this. There's very little that a city can do to affect a national program and a national law, but you can influence the decisions through collaboration, through conversation, by showing what can be done and what can be achieved if things are looked at in a prudent and responsible manner. So certainly, Mayor, I would hope that you would take a very strong look at our relationship, realize the value that it holds, not just from a cultural standpoint, but also from a political and even an economic development standpoint. That we can take these issues and instead of tossing them aside and severing relationships, can instead do the harder work, which is getting down and dealing with it face to face to find equitable solutions as we move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much. And Ms. Jensen, before you go to the microphone, I do want to let everybody know what is going on about this issue. We are aware that about the petition and the request to sever ties with our sister city of Voronezh, Russia. For more than 2 decades, Charlotte and Voronezh have engaged in numerous cultural exchanges that have benefited residents in both municipalities. After weeks of planning, on this Thursday, I look forward to hosting a private meeting with leaders from MECPAC, Human Rights Watch, the U.S. State Department, Sister City International, and Charlotte's Sister City Committee to discuss diplomatic measures that should be pursued for more cultural understanding between Charlotte and Voronezh. I believe severing our ties with Voronezh would do nothing to help its LGBT community. On the contrary, it would deprive us of the best means we have to improve the situation. My hope is that this dialogue will increase cultural and humanitarian understanding between our 2 international cities. I understand that MECPAC supports my effort to engage in a productive dialogue, and I want to thank Scott Bishop of MECPAC for his advocacy on this issue. I think it is a testament to the LGBT community of Charlotte that there is assertive and passionate leadership demonstrated by the fantastic turnout and planning of this weekend's Pride Charlotte festivities. They were absolutely fabulous. Thank you, Scott. I also want to thank the Charlotte City Council for your support as we pursue this most effective and responsible measure of international diplomacy. Thank you very much. And Ms. Jensen, you have the microphone for 3 minutes.